Good afternoon, everyone. You're welcome to the NBA Garki Branch Tech Lab, organized by the Continuing Legal Education Committee of the Nigerian Bar Association Garki Branch. I'd like to welcome us all. My name is Folari Aluko. I'm the chairman of the CLE committee, and it is my pleasure to have us here. As is usual with all events that are organized either in Nigeria or for Nigerians. We know that Nigerian time is a thing, but we try as much as possible to dispel the myths or debunk the myths of Nigerian time. So we always start on time. I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for coming on time as well. The next 3 days are going to be very interesting, and I'm looking forward to a very, very enlightening session. We'll try to make the meetings as practical as possible. Our resource persons are in the house with us. Our resource persons are in the house with us. Mr. Victor Edowu is leading a team of tech experts who have the mandate to upgrade our skill set, to help us upgrade our skill set. So once again, welcome everyone. I think we'll give a few more minutes for more people to join. Let's wait until 3:10, 10 minutes past 3, and then I will join us again. So once again, thank you very much for joining this tech lab organized by the Continuing Legal Education Committee of the NBA Garki branch. You're all welcome. Look forward to an interesting session. Thank you. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Once again, my name is Folarin Aliko. I'm the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association Garki Branch Continuing Legal Education Committee. I also have the distinct pleasure of being a past chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association Abuja branch, um, from the Garki side of things. And it is indeed a pleasure to be here. I would like to say a big thank you to branch chairman, Mr. Anthony Bamidele Ojo, for supporting the personal development of members of the branch and members of the bar at large. I would also like to say a big thank you to other members of EXCO, and in particular to our publicity secretary, who has done so much work with regards to publicizing this training. Now, so about a year and a half ago, the committee set out to conduct some research into the skill set challenges that lawyers have, particularly with regards to actual skills that have to do with the profession, and then soft skills that may not necessarily deal with, may not be directly connected to our professional capacity, but that are integral to providing services effectively and efficiently to customers or to clients. And one of the key takeaways from that research was that we discovered that many lawyers, many of us are tech aware, but we don't necessarily have the actual skill set to provide, well, we don't have the skill set to use technology in a way that allows us to provide services at the speed that our clients need or at the most optimal speed available. And that is a major challenge facing many of us. In fact, you could argue that many lawyers are used for many lawyers, our use of technology often ends with our ability to maybe do some typing, preliminary typing, or to use our computers to watch movies or watch multimedia, and then of course access social media. And technology or digital technology there are so many ways that it can augment and improve our lives as practitioners and as professionals, especially with regards to when providing services to clients who are used to these levels of, or who have expectations and are used to certain levels of output or client productivity. And so it is against this backdrop that the CLE committee thought to organize a tech lab. Now, this tech lab is not a webinar, it's not a seminar. It is supposed to be a practical, hands-on session, which is why it is designed in this way, and which is one of the reasons why we did not seek or we did not apply for CLE points, but we will, for the next set of programs that the CLE committee will be embarking on, all those programs will have CLE points. So once again, the objective here is to provide a format through which we can upskill and upgrade our skills as lawyers. And we have a fantastic team of experts in the house, led by Mr. Victor Edo, who will take us on a journey of technological upgrading, if I may use that phrase. So thank you very much, Mr. Edo, who is in the house. But before Mr. Edo comes up, our moderator, Esther Asumbe, I'd like to introduce our moderator, Esther Asumbe. She has joined us. Before before I hand over the mic to Esther, I had earlier acknowledged the presence of the branch publicity secretary, Damilola Alabi. I saw a couple of people join us. I saw Mr. Olatunji Atoebi, former secretary of the branch, join, and Selzin Zingfa, former social secretary of the branch, also. Then I noticed that Mr. Babatunde Tidani joined us from the branch duty solicitor scheme. And I saw Clive Otaigbe. This program is not Michael Babajide. Okay, I recognize quite a lot of names. This program is not strict, it's not limited to members of the RK branch alone. The program is for all lawyers, and so we are enjoying everyone to please strap on your seatbelt, or is it, how do they say it? Buckle your seatbelts as we go into the session. I should mention that because what we are trying to achieve is not, we don't want it to be a webinar per se. We call it a tech lab. So before the end of the program, one of the things we will do is we will set up a community for those of us who need additional help, additional assistance, handling or dealing with using some of the tools, or who might need a follow-up, which is one of the reasons why this is a 3-day event. So welcome everyone once again. I will now hand over to Esther to usher us into the next phase of the program. So Esther.
Mr. Folari, it's a pleasure to do this. The next phase of the program will be coordinated by our facilitator. I hope we have our notes and pens ready, if possible, laptops opened and minds opened to take questions. The chat is opened so that as the session is going on, if you have questions, you could just drop them in the chat box and we will take them afterwards. Over to the facilitator, sir. Thank you, sir.
Before we go to our facilitator, I would like to thank you very much, Esther, for that amazing introduction. Now, I should mention Mr. Victor Idowu is, let me just quickly do an introduction for Mr. Victor Idowu, and then I would like us to do a quick poll. I'd like us to take a quick poll. Mr. Victor Idowu is a technology, is a computer engineer, software developer, and technology expert. And he has operated, he runs a number of technology companies. He has functioned in these roles for more than 25 years. Mr. Idowu is a regular facilitator, trainer, and trainer of trainers. And he has facilitated several trainings for a wide range of organizations and individuals and institutions, including, but not limited to, the National Assembly and for different states. Mr. Idowu is Mr. Idowu's specialization goes beyond software development to application integrity and systems design. Mr. Idowu, we're pleased. It's a pleasure to have Mr. Idowu and his team here with us today. Now, before I hand over to Mr. Idowu, I would like us to just do a very quick poll. I don't know how many of us we can set up a poll, Esther.
Yes, sir.
Maybe let's not do that. Just by show of hands. By show of hands, this is like a preliminary evaluation. But by show of hands, I'd like to get a sense of how many of us edit our documents ourselves? How many of us draft and prepare our documents ourselves? as when I was called to bar, which was not so long ago, it was like day before yesterday. When I was called to bar in the firm, one of the first firm I worked at, we would all write, we would draft, we go to the library to prepare processes, we would draft in longhand and then hand over a draft to the secretary. Then the secretary will type out the first draft, you will go through it on the computer and then vet it. Then the secretary will then print out the first draft, then you take the first draft to a partner, the partner will review your work and then hand it back to you with corrections. Then you give the corrections to the secretary who will then type what may be the penultimate draft. So that is, that, I mean, I got into that firm, unfortunately I had a laptop and I used to type, I was used to typing my own things. So I came to that firm typing my processes. Okay, so some of us type processes, okay? Now, how many of us use, thank you very much, thank you everyone, I've seen our hands. How many of us do use Excel? How many of us use Excel to prepare our accounts or to monitor our briefs? How many of us, how many of us use any tool at all? Let's not say Excel. How many of us use any tools? Do we use any tools to prepare accounts or monitor briefs? Okay, if you do, just raise your hand. Okay, okay. Salim, thanks. Oh, great. Okay. Now, that is Excel and documents. Okay. Now, with regards to PowerPoint, in the last 1 year, how many of us made presentations to potential or actual clients using PowerPoint? How many of us made presentations or pitches to potential or actual clients using PowerPoint? Okay. Okay. Now, in the last 1 year, how many of us use PowerPoint at all? How many of us used PowerPoint at all? We see show of hands. Okay. Oh, great. Okay. So not many of us use PowerPoint. Oh, great. Okay. Now, final question. How many of us have any formal training? How many of us attended a class or a school on ICT use, computer? I did. I'm not date myself. Someone is sharing the whiteboard. Chidera. Okay, great, great, great. So, okay, Mr. Tijani went to a computer school. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Let's give ourselves a round of applause, please. Thank you very much. Now, I hand over to Mr. Victor Edo. Over to Mr. Victor Edo. Okay, Mr. Victor Edo, I believe he's trying to unmute.
He's here, sir. He was just able to connect.
Okay, thank you. Please, let's make him a co-host so that I believe he will introduce other members of his team. So, Mr. Victor, over to you, sir. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Apologies for the break in transmission. I was in a regimented place and it had something to do with network. Thank you, Barrister Folari. And it's nice. I hope, Mr. Victor, I hope you're not among those tapping the NSA's line. Since you said you were in a regimented place. No, that's funny. On a lighter note. I think we have lost Mr. Edowu again. I guess that was a very costly joke. But some of his team members are here. Fortunately, he didn't get to introduce them. If you're one of Mr. Idowu's team members, please just raise your hand so we can recognize you as well. Okay, Osmond. So Ubudaga Osmond. I saw a name. Okay. Okay, and Mahmoud Mai. So let me see. Okay, and Chicha. Who's going to introduce you? Maybe one of you should do the introductions if you don't mind. I will wait for, let's make you co-hosts. So please, can you make Osmond and Mswa co-hosts? Yes. Okay, awesome.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. My name is Msuke Chicha, but if the Msuke is too difficult, you can just call me Chicha. Hello?
Can hear you, sir. Mr. Chicha.
Okay. So I'm with my team, Osmond and Mahmoud. We are working from Uvaros. I'm the cybersecurity expert. Mahmoud is also the backend team lead, and Osmond is also the front-end engineer. and we are going to be facilitators for this program going forward. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you, sir, you and your team, and we look forward to the next 3 days being
Thank you
very
very much.
impactful.
Okay, since Mr. Ido is not here, who on your team would want to proceed with this session so that
Okay, I'll be the one to proceed with the session for today. I'll be taking for today and Saturday on Wednesday, while Osmond will be taking for tomorrow.
okay, I believe you can proceed.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
All right, thank you very much. So as I said earlier, my name is Chicha, and the essence of the training session for today is a lab that has been designed for practical and hands-on training to build foundational digital competence required for efficient, credible, and risk-aware legal practices. So for the sake of this training today, I'll be taking for digital file management and workflow organization, professional digital communication and record integrity. Then on Wednesday, I'll be taking for introduction to cybersecurity. So if that's okay, I will be sharing my screen now.
Would you want to share your screen? Would you want to share your screen or turn on your video or something? Do you have a screen you'd like to share?
I'll be sharing my screen.
Okay, so you're a co-host, you can do that.
All right, thank you. All right. Please, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, sir. You can see your screen, sir. Even though the words are not so clear, but yes, you can see it.
Okay. All right. So the first on our table of content will be having digital file management and workflow organization. Now, there's a situation whereby you have different kinds of folders and for different kind of purposes, and you find it difficult to. Please, is
Mr.
my screen
Chicha,
very
we
clear?
cannot hear you. Okay, your screen is not too clear, and we stopped hearing you for a bit.
Okay, let me stop again and share.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you could keep speaking while you try to hear your screen. That's all right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so like we were saying, we'll try to look at the structure of folders in a logical hierarchy so files are easy to find and manage consistently. So we have an example of folder structures here. For instance, they are organized by client, by case, and by documents. Now, you see that we have a structure here where you have six clients, then you have ABC Limited, which is a client. Let's say that the client there is a folder carrying all other clients. Then if we are looking at a particular client called ABC Limited, then that is a client's name. Then with the case is employment dispute and the year is 2026. Then we have documents or let's say files under the case. Now you can see organize your folder by department, by year, by project. So I would like to demonstrate how we can actually do that. So let me split screen. So by splitting my screen, you can just press Windows key on your keyboard and press your left or right arrow key, and then we have can do this way. So here now is this is my file explorer. So I am looking at various categories of folders, and if you look at them, they have been organized. Now let me pick this particular folder called Bennett Tech Skills, and I open it now. Then we see come to training. Then we have two categories of training. Now this training is for a UI UX training, and they are built into two categories. Then let's go for the UX. So coming back to our structure here, we'll look at our structure. Then we say that we have by client. Then let's say that the client here is our UX. Then we have the case where we have other folder. Now you see that this folder is organized by courses, course one, course two, course three, course four. Then if you open a particular folder, let's use course one for instance. You can open it now. You can see that they are also organized by modules. Now, if you open any of the modules, you can see that the files or the documents are categorized into text and videos. Then let's say you open the file now, you can see that all those files are there. So for instance, let's try to create this now in our document. So we have this as our document. We want to like create an example of how this structure of folders can be managed in our file explorer. So I am into my document, so I can create a new document name client. You can right click on your keyboard and create new and create folder, or you can press Control Shift and N, and it should still give you the same result. So I can just say client, then I will open it. Then we'll have we'll create another folder called case. Then the case is now sorry, not case, the client's name. Sorry, let me rename this ABC underscore limited. Then in this folder called this folder called ABC, which is also our client, you can decide to have other clients like let's say GER, and so these folders here are structured as our clients. Now, so we can say, okay, let's focus on one client, which is ABC Limited, and we have cases. So the case here, for instance, is employment dispute, and I will put the year for easy access. So this is one case. We can now say put property management. So we say we have up to like 2 cases under our clients ABC Limited. Then in these clients now, we can now have our documents, which in this case it could be files. For instance, we can decide to create a particular file using our text editor. You can use Windows, Microsoft Office. For my case now, I am using only Office. So let's say I have a file or a document, for instance, that is looking into employment disputes, and we have our details there. Then we can save. So I'll go to the document and the document now. Then I'll come to clients, open the clients, then look at our various clients there, ABC Limited, then come to employment dispute. Then I'll rename my documents to probably the name of the employee, or we can just say Joseph. Then we'll now open the employment dispute folder. Then we save. So after saving, we can just close this. Then we'll come back. Now we see that our file is there. Then let's go back again and see the process. We are in the document. We came to clients. We open the clients. Then we have various clients here, and we are concerned is ABC Limited. We open ABC Limited, and we are looking at the case there. And one of the case we're looking at is an employment dispute. Then we have Joseph. Then you can still have various documents, and you can have as many as we have contracts here. There's also court filings, and the list goes on. So depending on how many documents you have under your case folder. Now, if you want to still change that by document, department and year, we'll still have our documents here, which is in the File Explorer. We'll still create a new folder with the same process we said, either by right-clicking and creating a new folder, or pressing Control and Shift plus N on your keyboard. Then we'll say that we'll have departments. Then we'll go to this department or open it. Then we'll have a department here. We have litigation. Then we can have litigation. We have litigation. We can have judiciary. Please do not mind my naming. I might not be constant with how your nomenclature is, but please just bear with me. So we have year, which is another folder. We can write that at 2006. Then in this year now, we have projects. So in this project now, we have ABC versus XY Z. So we can create another folder called ABC underscore versus XYZ. Then in this particular folder now, we can have our files called pleadings, motions, judgments. Please, am I too fast? Do we have any questions before I continue?
So, Mr. Chicha, the slides actually remain very unclear,
Okay.
but we're largely still trying to follow. Is there a way to make the slides clearer?
Okay.
I don't know, maybe.
It's pixelated.
Hello?
Mr. Falari, I didn't hear you, sir.
I was telling Mr. Chicha that the slides look pixelated. They appear. So
Okay.
we can, yes, so it's pixelated. We can see the data file management and workflow organization, but every other thing on the right-hand side is pixelated, almost as though it's loading, but it has not loaded.
Okay. I guess that should be network from my own side, but I think I will share. I will have to share the slide at the end of the class so that we can
Okay.
follow up.
I think you can speak to, you can actually describe, because what, I mean, I can make out what it says is folder architecture models. Then even though
Yes.
it's not visible, I can make that out very roughly. Folder architecture models, then it describes different models for, organizing folders, which is what I think you were explaining earlier. But I'm
Yes.
sure you can explain it maybe without, just assume that the slides are not there. You will share the slides with us later. But assume the slides aren't there, you can explain it to us, then we can do the demonstration. I think that's where it will be more better.
Okay, but were you able to see the demonstrations I did? Like when I created
we could see what you were doing, and we could see you creating folders, but we can't read the names of the folders.
Okay.
We can't see the names of the folders. Which is why I said that if you explain.
Okay, how about now? How about now?
It's a bandwidth. It's not about the zoom. The
Okay.
image is coming in pixelated. It's like you
Oh.
zoomed in a very low quality, low resolution JPEG.
No, not actually low resolution. On my end, it's actually
I know.
very clear.
I didn't say it's low resolution. I know it's the network, which is part of what you guys are here to teach us. But I know it's a network thing. It's the network that is passing your visuals. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so Mr. Ido's hand is raised.
Okay.
Let's see. Mr. Ido,
Okay, yes, good afternoon all. All right, since we are having this network issue, why don't you go ahead, Mr. Chicha, go ahead, explain, and we can now do a brush up. Probably the network will be better then, brush up with the slides, and probably a video later on.
All right, sir.
Chicha is muted.
Hello. So can I go on?
Yes, well, we're all waiting for you, teacher Chicha.
All right. Thank you, sir. It's okay. So another thing we need to consider on our menu is file naming conventions and version control. The idea of file naming, most of the times when you have various files on your database or on your system or on your document, it becomes difficult when your naming convention is not actually good enough. For instance, when somebody is naming their files, they say common things that we have noticed. They normally name their files using their name, or probably the name of something that they are common with. For instance, names of their children or names of animals. Imagine that you have up to like 50,000 files, and these files you are naming them with, let's say my name now, teacher one, teacher two, teacher three. It becomes difficult to tell which file is which. Then another thing about version control is getting to have a means of tracking updates using labels that are easy to identify with. So for instance, we want to go back to the file naming convention, where initially we were talking about uh, client dispute. So for instance, now let's look at we have a Joseph here, which was a very wrong way of naming a file. Then we can rename this file to uh, ABC underscore limited underscore service, then underscore view one. View one there means the first version, then underscore 2026. Then we have, that is the year. Then we have the day the month is February, and let's say today's date is 23rd. Now, if you notice, we are introducing underscore there to eliminate spaces. Most of the times when you have such files on your system, if you find it difficult to track them if you include spaces in your files. Now it's very easy. By looking at this, now you can tell that the first information there is the client you are dealing with. The next information there, service agreement, is the the case you are dealing with. Now, the view one in the file there is the version of the document, while the year there is the year that the document was created. Now, when it comes to hello, hello,
Continue.
okay. So when you come to the
You can keep
so when
going,
you
sir.
Yeah, so when you come to version control now, you can see that when you are drafting a document, there are a lot of iteration that you do to a particular document. Now you have the first version of a document, you have second version up to the end version where it is approved. So it is very good for you to append things like view one, given that the first version of the document is either the first draft, then going forward to say, okay, we have the second document, which is the V2. Then we'll go forward to have the V3 up to the VN. Then we have the final copy, which has been approved. So that is the way where you can be able to track your this thing, your documents. And let's not forget that as you are tracking this document, you also keep in mind that you will be tracking them in the organizational structure of the folders that we discussed earlier. Then we're talking about backup and document retrieval systems. So in the backup and document retrieval systems, we're looking at whereby you store copies of your files in another location that is not necessarily your uh, laptop or your desktop you are using in your office, to prevent data loss from hacking, system crashes, or accidental deletion. Now, examples of how you can be able to do data package is using systems like Google Drive, then OneDrive, you have SharePoint, that is cloud storage. Then you have external drive to store securely in the office, and you have offsite secure data center storage. So external drive, you have your flash drive, which we know or have been using. They are common devices in our offices. Then external hard drive is like a hard disk. So we can still try to demonstrate how you can be able to save uh, your backup copies on your Google Drive. So we'll be using Google Drive to demonstrate that. So for instance, this is, we can just say, you can now go to your browser, whether you're using Google Chrome, you're using Firefox, you're using Opera Mini, you can just log in with your Google account and you will come to this particular window where you have your image here and you have these dots where it leads you to Google Apps. You can come here, click on Google Drive. Sorry, my still loading.
Teacher, I think as Mr. Victor advised, I think you should just go on without the slides,
Okay.
Not even sharing your screen, because it's hard to see, but I try and explain it as though we cannot see what you are saying. Do you
Okay,
understand?
okay. It's
You
all
can
right.
now share slides with us later.
Okay, okay. Okay, no problem. Thank you for that. So you can now create a access your Google Drive if you are using Google account. Then when you go there, there is a room for you to create files. You can actually create files by folder, or you can upload your folder directly from your laptop or your phone. You can also do that by creating a file directly using either PowerPoint or PowerPoint or Google Sheets or Google Drive, Google Docs. So those are the ways that you can do that. Now, when you are in your Google Drive, you can see a particular button called, you see new. If you click on new, it gives you various options, either to upload a file or upload a folder or create new. Then when you see create new, it gives you other options to either create Google Sheets, create Google Docs, or do other things. So we will be moving to document retrieval systems. So like we said earlier about naming conventions. So when you are able to name your files correctly, it's very, very easy for you to actually retrieve them in a way by when you are on your File Explorer, you can navigate to your find or your search button in your File Explorer, type the document name, click on search, and it will take you to your your file which you are looking for on the system. So we can proceed now to basic workflow mapping for legal matters. So this one is a step-by-step process showing how legal works flows from start to finish. The whole idea is about documenting these processes from the beginning to finish. That is where the mapping in comes in. The whole idea of this session is not actually to uh, let's say, try to prove that we know how you do your stuff, but to bring technology into the process and see how you can flow with that. So, for instance, you have a legal workflow where you have a client intake and conflict check. Then you engage you have engagement letter that is signed. You have legal research. You draft a contract or a court document, and you do a partner review and propose an approval. You file a court or execution with the client, and you follow up or you close the case. So this ensures no critical step is missed in the legal work. So when you carry this process now and bring it back to the structure where we're talking about, it's very, very easy to map all these processes to the legal works that is being conducted. Another thing, professional digital communication record integrity. So before I continue, I would like to ask if there are any questions. Hello? Hello?
Continue.
It's all right. So we want to look at the professional email structure. So the idea of this professional email structure is writing emails in a format that are very clear and organized and convey a sense of professionalism. For instance, we have a structure whereby you have the subject, you have greetings, you have message, you have action points, and there's a signature. So in the subject, you write the subject of that particular message. For instance, we have a review of service agreements draft. Then, of course, you have to make your greetings. Then you greet the recipient of your email. Then you have your message, giving a brief information of what your mail intends to convey and the action points. For instance, we have said that kindly review and revert with comments by 25th February 2026. So that is requiring your recipients to actually take action based on the mail being sent. You append your name, that is your signature, of course, then your title. They will also look at attachment discipline and file labeling. So this practice of sending the correct files clearly named and referenced in the email. So for instance, you have something like please find attached the employment contract. Of course, the contract now you can give it a file name where in this case we have draft version 2. Then attachment file name, like we talked about naming convention, you have the client, you have the case, you have the version of the document, and you have the year of when the document was created. Then this prevents sending the wrong client document or confidential files by mistake. We want to look at confidentiality and in digital communications. So these are measures we put in place to protect sensitive legal information. Most of us have been using banks, commercial banks that we get emails of a bank statement at the end of the month with it being passworded. Now, when this email is being passworded, that is in a way of safeguarding your communication or putting your information confidential. They will either ask you to use your 4 digit or 5 digit or 6 digits of your account to open it, or use the last digits of your bank card to open the bank statement that has been sent to you through via your email. Now, the essence of this whole thing is to protect emails whereby people find it, you might induce on it and know what information that has been sent. Another thing is that those sending emails should try as much as possible to password their emails. Another thing is to create two-factor authentication on email and cloud storage. Then this is done by avoiding sending legal document over uh, public Wi-Fi in cafes. So another thing is sometimes when you go to cafe or you find a Wi-Fi that is public, you make use of them, and someone can intercept your traffic and steal information, especially when these informations are very, very sensitive. The whole essence of this practice to safeguard and protect Anthony client's privileges and comply with data protection laws. Then we want to look at calendar and deadline management systems. These tools or methods used to track court dates, meetings, and filing deadlines. We have an example whereby we can have a Google Calendar for reminder for court hearing on a particular date. Let's say, for instance, 10th of March, 2026. So the question now is, how do you make use of your Google Calendar? You can have access to Google Calendar by, if you are using Android, it comes shipped with your phone. But if you are not using Android, let's say you are using um, uh, iOS, you can as well download it from the store. Or if your Android doesn't come with Google Calendar, you can actually download it. So how to access this is you can actually visit any browser. If you don't have it on your device, you can visit any browser, uh, search calendar.google.com and log in with your login Google credentials, then come to a particular date. Let's say you have a meeting by 28th, or you have a court case of 28th of this month. You can just come on that very day, click on it, then a particular window will come up for you. You just add the title and time of the court hearing. You add guests. If you have any other people who you want them to join in that meeting or so, you add it and you click on save. Then choose the time of when you need the alarm, either in the morning, the afternoon, or in the evening. So once the day comes, you get notification that you have a particular day for your meeting. So another thing is you can actually use Microsoft Outlook for shared calendar for litigation deadlines, or you can use legal practice management software that allows lawyers before filing deadlines. There are some of these management softwares that are out there, but if you need a costume management software, we can as well be able to create that for you, since we are also a software development uh, company. Then we have communication record preservations. This means keeping records of emails, messages, and calls for legal and compliance purpose. For instance, if you go to your email, you have something called label, uh, Gmail to be specific. You have a particular icon called label. What it does is sometimes you keep getting emails from a particular subscription service. Let's say either Jumia, or you are getting email from the Bureau of Statistics, or you are getting email from Ministry of Finance. You can actually use that label to create a folder in your email, name it by the sender that is sending you that email. So for even every email that is coming in, you can categorize it in that folder. In that way, you will not lose track of emails coming into your email account. So it actually saves client emails and attachment in a case folder. And another thing you can also do is to archive WhatsApp or team conversation related to legal advice. And you can also keep a minute of meetings and call log in in the matter of our files. So for what we are doing now, like in this call, we are actually recording it. That's the way, another way of keeping call logs. So before I round up, we'll just try to give a recap of what I just said. We looked at digital file management and workflow organization, where we talked about further architecture models, file naming conventions, and version control, backups and document retrieval system, basic workflow mapping for legal matters. Then we also looked at professional digital communication and record integrity, where we discussed professional email structure, attachment discipline, and file labeling, confidentiality safeguards in digital communication, calendar and deadline management system, and communication record preservation. Thank you very much. So, any question?
Thank you so much, Ashisha, for your extensive um, explanations. Even though today is an introductory session, you've done so much to really bring us to speed on what we need to know. Please, if there are questions, you can just type them out in the chat. I have a question. So I'll just go ahead to ask it while we wait for the questions from participants. Now, supposing that I maybe use my phone and my laptop interchangeably, and I want to access files the same way to be at their current state on both my phone and my laptop concurrently. What would you recommend as an easy way to do it? So that if I'm taking my phone, for example, I have the file up to speed on my phone. If I'm taking my laptop as well, the files are currently, as I make corrections to those files, I'm having them as it is. Thank you, sir. Hello, sir. Did you hear me, sir? Did you get my question, Mr. Teacher, sir?
Okay, yeah, I got your question. So there are various ways that you can be able to achieve that. One of the ways is if you are on your Microsoft account, you you can actually create an account and have your documents synced with the cloud, where as you are working on your, let's say you are working on your device, it can also be syncing with what you have on your phone. Or for instance, if you are using a Google account, you can actually create a Google Docs. Let's say you are working on Google Docs, which is the version of Microsoft Office for Google. Then you can have let's say you have PowerPoint, you have Google Sheet. Now, once you are anything you are editing from your Google Sheet or your Google Docs or PowerPoint, it will actually be automatically synchronizing on your laptop as long as you log into these two devices using your account. Another thing is you can actually go to settings. If, for instance, you are browsing on your phone and you want to also see the history or what you are browsing on your laptop. Let's say you are browsing and you want to see it in real time on your phone. You can go to settings on your Google account and you can see synchronize sync and Google services. You just turn it on. So anything you are doing on your phone, it will be reflecting on your Google Chrome browser. I don't know whether I've answered your question.
Yes, sir, you have. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chicha. You have done good justice to to the question asked. I just want to add a little bit. I want to add something to it. There's this option also of downloading Google Drive as an app on your phone. Yeah, most phones have that already. And then you have that on your system also. So when you are working on your system, instead of saving into the document folder, you can select save into Google Drive. I mean, where we have my computer, we have documents, we have photos, we have these other default folders. We can have Google Drive there also as one of the default folders. So you choose that folder as where you save your documents. And then you set the folder to always synchronize with the cloud each time you connect to the internet. The caveat there is this. It means once you work, your system must get connected to the internet because if it is not connected to the internet, it will not be updated on your phone. And then when you work on your phone also, you save it in your Google Drive. Once you save it in your Google Drive, it will synchronize and then it will be available on your laptop also. So that's another leg, that's another way of synchronizing your files between your system and your laptop. Thank you. I mean, between your phone and your laptop. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I have another question. So for let's say early career professionals who cannot afford tailor-made systems for their legal work or organization. What do you recommend? I know, like, as you were explaining, many of the references were to Microsoft Teams or Google Drive. So what would you advise that, okay, to start with? I don't know if my question is clear. So for people who cannot afford maybe tailored systems for organizations, would you say, oh, I recommend maybe you starting with Microsoft Teams, or I recommend starting with Google Workspace, etc.? Thank you, sir.
I will direct that question for my boss to answer, Mr. Victor. Hello, sir. Please, can you help us answer the question?
Apologies. If you want me, please go come again with the question, please. I'm sorry.
So while he was making the slides, showed us how to create folders on our laptops. And at some point, he was speaking about tailor-made systems for tailor-made legal management systems. So my question is for maybe early career professionals. So if I cannot afford, for example, now to contract you to say, okay, draft this or no, create these tailor-made systems for me, for organization and all of that, what would you recommend as start? What app or platform or would you recommend that I start with to start
Okay,
to
I understand
organize files?
I understand the question now. The computer is very interesting. The system is always interesting. There are several ways of getting things done on the system. Several ways. There is no cast and gold way of doing it. Now, it depends on what we want to achieve exactly. For instance, I can choose to document finances of my practice in Excel. I can choose to document notes in Microsoft Word. I can choose to document reports in another software. But the principal thing is I'm taking notes, I'm taking these documents, and I am organizing them properly, giving them the right nomenclature. That is very key. And I now create a folder.
I'm not hearing you again, sir.
Um, I have Barrister Folani as a client. So I create another folder within Victor and Co. I name it Barrister Folani. And anything that has to do with Barrister Folani is case files. He has pictures, he has videos and other things. They are inside that folder. If the pictures are numerous, or if I'm handling more than one brief for him, inside Barrister Folani's folder, I can create a brief. Barrister Folani's anyway, lawyers like trouble. I'm not praying you have trouble, but let me use that as an example. Barrister Folani's let me look for a small trouble. car issue.
Let me know what your prayer is for me. I want to know what your prayer is for me. No, say Barrister Polari, say purchase of 1 hectare of land in Guzape, Barrister Polari.
Okay, good one.
Right.
So Barrister Folari's 1 hectare of land in Papi. Barrister Folari's acquisition of the Aso Villa.
Guzape, not Papi.
Oh, Guzape, not Papi. Okay.
My Tama, not Papi.
No. I have a better one. Barrister Folari's acquisition of the Aso Villa. You like that one?
I like that one. But if DSS and EFCC come and disturb me, I'll call you.
Okay. So now, look at the flow now. My practice is a folder. By Safolarin is a client. So I have a folder inside my practice. I name it by Safolarin. And then each brief I have for by Safolarin, I give them different folders. If there's only one brief I'm holding for him, I can dump all the files inside it. And if I have so many pictures and videos, I can group the pictures in a folder and put it inside it. So that way, I'm not using any software. I'm not using any specialized software. Everything I'm using is regular files, regular folders. I'm just doing good arrangement and organization of the files and folders. Sincerely, that is one way of managing my legal practice. Do you understand? Did I answer the question well? Now that's for Bisafolani. I can have you as a client. I give you a different folder also. I give all my clients. So when I open my folder, that I named as Victor's practice, the first thing I'll see is folders representing each of my clients. That's management. That's organization. And then I open each individual's folder and I see the brief I have for each individual and so on and so forth. I hope I've answered the question well.
Yes, sir, you have, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, too.
I have a question, sir. I think, if you don't mind, for the sake of everyone, if you could explain to us just explain, Chichi talked about naming conventions. And he talked about naming conventions in terms of what we name files that we are saving. But can you just run us through some naming conventions for types of files? And I'm referring to the types of documents you might find in the average lawyer's computer. So you have images, you have videos. The other day we were reviewing video evidence in the office, and it was saved as .mov. But there were some video players could not play it, and this is evidence we wanted to display in court. Some videos are MP4, some are MKV, Mastroka. They are different. So can you just run us through? And that is the application format now in terms of the naming format, just general documents, doc, docx, PPT, PPTX, and so on. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Let me start with what we call file extensions. If you save any document, any Microsoft Word document, automatically it will have this extension of either .doc or .docx. It depends on the version of Microsoft Word that you are using. Now, a lot of us run into this crisis. I might have edited a document on my system because I'm using Microsoft Word 2003, for example. And after saving it, or I'm using Microsoft Word 2017, 2018, 2020, which comes with these latest computers and are actually paid for. I use that and the system automatically gives my document .docx. Docx is an higher version to .doc. Yeah, in spite of the fact that they are from the same Microsoft. So when I copy this file, I get to where I want to open the file. Unfortunately, they can't afford, their system is not new and they cannot afford the latest software. So their own software is .doc. The confusion will arise. Is Microsoft Word? Why can't I open this file? In fact, sometimes they try to open the file and it gets the file corrupted, messes the whole thing up. So that brings me to how we name our files. If I create a document on my system and I know it is an agreement, this is an agreement between myself and Barrister Folarin, for example, when I'm naming it, it's just easier for me to give it the name, except if I understand my nature very well, okay, I can remember if I do this or do that. But it's easier to name the file agreement between Barrister Folarin and Victor. And after I give it that name, the next thing that will happen is I may want to be conscious or cautiously choose the file extension, because where we type the name of our file, the next column to it gives us the option to choose the file extension we want to use. So I've named my file agreement between Victor and Barrister Folarin. We are lawyers, and of course, within the course of this training, we will know how to secure our systems. We will do a little bit of cyber security. We know how to secure our systems and the rest. So we are lawyers. We can protect our system, but we can name our files, name our documents with something we can remember. In other professions, I can choose to name that file, that agreement between the two of us. I can choose to name it 101111. That's because it's a security. I mean, I'm just using a code to name the file. I know I will remember the code, but I don't want other people to easily access the file. So, but for lawyers in this case, we are going to name it in respect or name it according to the title of the document and then give it the appropriate file extension. This DOC and DOCX is a crisis a lot of people run into. That's number one. But the most common crisis people run into is video file extension. A lot of us record videos on our iPhone. An iPhone has who can tell me the extension of videos on iPhone? Please, we've been together, lawyers, and I like interactive sessions. Who can give me the file extension of videos on iPhone?
iPhones use MOV.
MOV, yes. iPhones use MOV, and you will agree with me that not all systems open MOV.
Yes.
Correct? Because MOV is a video file extension that is popular with a video player for Apple again. Okay, so not all systems. Come again?
I said I'm not sure if it's proprietary, but I know that it is practically iTunes player.
So exactly. So that gives it a little bit of a challenge because it may not open in some players. Windows Media Player is the default player that comes with Microsoft systems. And for .mov to play on that, there is an extension that has to be installed. Luckily, nowadays, for modern systems, that extension automatically downloads itself once it discovers .mov. So if you just play, you won't know that a problem has been solved for you along the line. So two important things to note now: the naming of our files. That's number one. Name it in a way you will remember it. I don't want to be in court. I want to play a video. And then there are so many videos in the flash drive I want to use. And one is named as AB. The other one is named as ABC. Number one, the third one is 1, 2, 3. And my lord, let's play this one and check. No, it's not this one. Let's play this one and check. I mean, the example may not be practical enough, but I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. So naming it, I will remember it, and giving it the file extension that is popular or that can be easily opened on different computers. That's for the files. The same thing applies to the folders. As I explained earlier on, my client, Barrister Folani, I won't name his folder BF. If I name it BF, I'm trusting my memory to say I will not forget BF. But when I need to be in a rush and I want to just extract everything about Barrister Folani, I can go to the search bar on my system and just put Folani. Everything about him, files, pictures, folders, everything will just come up. But if I've named it as AB or 1-2, nothing will come up. So that's my submission. I hope I've answered the question well.
Thank you very much, sir. 9/10.
Thank you. Oh yeah, give me the other one. Let me hear from you.
No, I'll keep that one in my back pocket.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. Any other questions?
7 years of just for me and Barrister Folari alone. So we want, if you are here, because no one has sent a question to the chat box that I can see. So if you have a question and you'd like to ask, please, you could just go ahead at this point as the floor is open. Because I have another question that I might as well proceed with. But I'm just saying that it would be good to give you opportunities to ask questions. Does anyone have a question? Okay, since I don't have a response yet, I'll just go ahead. I want to ask, sir, I don't know if it will be treated today or if it will be treated sometime later, about online signatures. Let's say, for example, I'm drafting a document that requires the signature of another party. What I currently do is that I sign on a white piece of paper, and then some guys at the ICT just take it and paste it on the documents, and I have to scan it and send it to the person. But sometimes I've drafted a complete document and then I have to sign and then someone else has to sign and we're not in the same location. I want to ask about what we can do as regards getting online signatures. Are there any apps? Are there any, or is there any provision for online signature aside from the scanning one that we're doing now? Thank you, sir.
Yes, we have apps. We have apps that actually carry out online signature very well. Now, it's just relative, because sometimes if it is something you prepared yourself, or if you are sure that the other party is conversant with online signatures. Anyway, we have eSign, we have eSign, we have DocuSign. I use those two very, very well. And I want Mr. Teacher to speak more on that when we get to cybersecurity session, because we have to be very careful when we are using these apps. If we are not very good in protecting our identity online and protecting our system, it may be risky, because what we do is you keep your signature on the app. You don't sign every time you need to go to the app. You keep your signature on the app, and you know what that means when your signature is there already. But to answer the question straight off, we have eSign and we have DocuSign. And they are actually good.
Thank you, sir. Most grateful. So this is going to, I have another question. This is going to seem like we're repeating the same thing over and over again, but I think repetition is the key to understanding. So again, for lawyers, but we're much more than that. For professionals who want to incorporate management, just management into their daily routine, like aside from the examples you've stated, you can just give a rundown of apps you should have on your phone or laptop to just make management a daily lifestyle. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you for that. We have a session in this training that covers that.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, I don't see, Mr. Folari, I don't see anybody's hand up to ask a question or do everything. With your kind permission, I don't know if we could close the meeting
Yes,
now.
yes, we can close the meeting.
Okay.
What I'm going to suggest that we should open a WhatsApp group. We should open a WhatsApp group that we can then take this conversation over to, and we can share details, feedback. Our facilitators will join us there. Then one will ask questions. And I guess once we get materials, we can arrange to send materials by email. But in the next couple of minutes, let me see if we can just share the. Why am I echoing? I'll see if we can share the WhatsApp group.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. So that will happen in just a
Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, whilst we're working how to send a link for the community, just want us to know that this training bootcamp is for 3 days. So it's going to run till Wednesday. We hope that, I think a great way to participate today, like I did, would be to have your laptop and seeking and finding ways to implement almost immediately. But today was just an introduction into the topics that we have today. By tomorrow, I'm sure our facilitators will take a more in-depth approach to explaining the things that we ought to know. So I'm hoping that whilst we wait, we will come with much more enthusiasm, much more questions, and overall an open approach to learning. Please ensure you come prepared with your devices, notes, and all of that, and then look out for the link. I also want to say to the lawyers that are here, or maybe not, is that we have Instagram. The MBA Gariki branch has Instagram pages that you can follow for more updates. There are group chats that you should be on, so you can always reach out as to how to join. Then look out for the link as well. Maybe if you're too shy to ask your question here, the community should provide ample opportunity for you to ask your question so that we can continuously grow. Mr. Folari has just sent the link to the chat box, so we can all just join in and then we'll take the conversation there. He just sends the link now. So we can take the conversation there. You can take questions there. So by way of wrapping up this evening's session, I want to say a big thank you to Mr. Victor Idowu and the Tech Lab community. We also want to say a big thank you to Mr. Chicha for doing such a good work today and acknowledge the remaining members of the Tech Lab community, Tech Skills Lab community. And want to say that we look forward to having a more engaging session tomorrow. Thank you, gentlemen, and have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Esther. Have a good evening. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Mr. Victor, thank you so much. Thank you, Teacher Chicha, and other facilitators. Thank you to everyone who stayed back very much. I think I saw Mr. Selzin Zinfa's avatar. And thank you, everyone. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.